Edie Lush with Hub Culture here at COP26 in Glasgow. Really pleased to see Antha from Bloomberg Philanthropies. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's fantastic to be here.
So tell me what Bloomberg Philanthropies is doing around climate.
Well, this is a critical moment on climate change, and so Mike Bloomberg serves as a special envoy to the UN Secretary General for climate ambition and solutions. And so here at COP26, he was really charged with bringing three key deliverables. One is around energy transition, one is around subnational actors, and the third is around mobilizing climate finance. On energy transition, we had a huge announcement yesterday where Mike announced that we would expand our work to close down coal-fired power plants and build clean energy instead to 25 new countries around the world. So that was a really big deal for us.
Huge deal. Tell me about climate finance, because that is one of the sticking points, it seems, in the current negotiations.
Yeah.
What's your role? What's Bloomberg Philanthropies' role there?
Well, Mike Bloomberg himself obviously is a successful entrepreneur and founder of a company, Bloomberg LP, and so he really has a lot of both credibility and convening power with the private sector. As a special envoy to the United Nations Secretary General, part of his remit is really to reach out to private sector leaders and encourage them to do more. In a really direct way, he has worked to bring the issues around climate and climate risk into the financial markets. And so through his leadership of an effort called the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, he has helped create a framework for companies to actually report their climate risk in terms of things like physical risk to supply chains from flooding or climate-related disasters, transition risk if governments actually act in line with the Paris Agreement. What does that mean for fossil fuel reserves, for example? And to report that risk in a comprehensive and apples-to-apples kind of way, so it's decision useful. That's just one example. The issue here at the COP, of course, is that while the clean energy transition is going to provide a lot of economic activity and jobs down the road, it does cost something up front. And so being able to bring in the capital to pay for that and to be paid back over time in terms of clean energy and jobs and healthy communities is really the challenge. C40 Cities has been a critical actor in this because there's so many great projects, climate-friendly projects in cities that just need finance. And so making the connections between the private investors and the city projects is a really critical role to play.
It's so interesting to me, the disconnect between what happens in cities around the world and then what happens at national government level.
Yeah.
What's the message from you, from Bloomberg Philanthropies, to the leaders of national governments?
Well, cities are here and they're delivering on climate action today. And so 2/3 of the mayors in the C40 network, for example, have already put in place climate action plans that meet the targets of the Paris Agreement. If that were true for national governments, we would be in a much better place than we are. The other key point, I think, is that regardless of the national government's kind of positioning, cities are moving in the right direction because their citizens are demanding it. And so from countries that include Brazil, countries all over Latin America, countries like Australia, where perhaps the national governments have not been as constructively engaged as they should be at COP26, the cities are there and they're delivering.
Thank you so much, Antha, for stopping by to speak to me here at Hub Culture in COP26 at the C40 event. I'm Edie Lush.
Thank you so much.